Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got the Skydio 2 today, and I just completed a flight just using my iPhone. Got an iPhone 11 Pro Max, and now I'd like to try a flight with the controller. What I haven't done, I've flown with the controller before, but what I haven't done is try to fly through obstacles with it. So we're going to hook up the controller. I'm over here at the this complex of schools next to my house. There's several charter schools here, and obviously they're out, so it's a good time to do it. We're of course in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis pandemic. I'm allowed to be out and do some outdoor activities. Our governor says that's okay as long as you maintain social distancing, so we're doing that. We're staying away from people, but let's mess around with this drone, and we're going to hook up the controller. You've seen me use the controller out at the Snake River before, and we got some good cinematic stuff. But let's fly it around here and see what we can do. So give me just a second. Let me get everything hooked up, and we'll put this baby in the air. Yep, says it's starting. So we should be able to take off. Let me hit the takeoff button. I'm going to make sure you can see it on the screen, and you can. So let's go ahead and hit takeoff. So you can see the drone is in a hover, and it puts a plus over me, and you can use that to do tracking like we did before. Let's back the drone off here so that we, and the other thing I should mention is it starts recording automatically, which I really like. But let's back it off here. Well, in fact, rather than backing it off, let's yaw it around, and let's fly it straight at that tree there. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to go full stick forward, and let's see how it gets around that tree. Full stick forward. And it just flies around it. Okay, let's go ahead and get some altitude here. And notice it sees my car there too. That's kind of cool. Bring it down here and drop the gimbal down here a little bit. So I think at this point, let's just go for a little flight. You guys have kind of seen this territory that I'm at before on some of my other videos. I'm just going to fly it around so that you can compare video to what I've done in the past. So I'm doing that rule of thirds. Looks like we got a really good horizon there. Looks pretty flat. I'm going to take it up to about, I don't know, 125 feet or so. Yeah, we overshot it a little, overshot it a lot. That's all right. Okay, moving forward now. That is full stick forward. At about 10 miles an hour, and I do have a turbo button. We'll show you that in a second here. I've used that turbo button before. Well, I got a nice shady spot here. It's working good. Okay, we're going to yaw back around, and I'm standing in a different spot than I normally stand when I'm over here at this group of schools, but you guys will recognize this territory. You can see there at the very bottom, I'm going to move the gimbal down, and right almost in the center of the screen there is where I typically stand. So I just wanted to show you that. Let's pick up the gimbal. And there is the Boise front there. I'm going to drop a little altitude. We're a little higher, I think, than we need. Oh, it says disconnected. Don't know why. Unable to join the network. Connection failed. So the drone is it's coming in for a landing. It's trying to connect. Connection regained. Now that's interesting. I don't know if that's because of that was where I was. I've got this tree around here, and a lot of people complain about this controller. But yeah, it said it couldn't connect to Wi-Fi, so that's interesting. So I'm going to say that's a controller failure, and a lot of people complain about that. So that's something you'll have to pay attention to. Well, let's get some altitude again. And I see a little bit of jerkiness on the screen here on the first-person view FPV. Yeah, I mean it's jerky. I don't have a great connection. I'm just telling you, and I'm not very far away. Okay, guys, and I'm trying to face the drone right now so we maintain connection. This is a common complaint with this guy. So I'm going to hit the turbo button right now so you can see the speed. Yeah, I don't know. I hit the turbo button and I didn't see anything there. Huh. Don't know, gents. I've used that turbo button before successfully. Okay, so back into forward motion here again. We're going to go right over the top of the school, and you guys have seen this view before. Yeah, we lost connection again. Really no reason for that. We're not that far away. That's a big fail. And the drone comes back. The drone comes right back every time. You know what I'm wondering here? That's what's going on. Guys, I just realized I've got the Wi-Fi. I bet you it's trying to connect to Wi-Fi on my phone. I think that's what's going on here. Okay, so let's do something different here. I am going to, well, you know what? I'm going to land it here is what I'm going to do, and we're going to start over here. Okay, I'm going to land. Yeah, I kind of just tried to place it over the landing pad. So, yeah, we got close. Yeah, so it's even telling me here. So I made a big mistake. It says disable your phone's Wi-Fi. I knew that. And I forgot to do it. So that's what our problem was. So I take back all of those things that I was saying. Wi-Fi is off, and let's connect again. I'm sorry, guys. That was entirely pilot error, and it's connecting. So calibrating. Yeah, that's what we had to do. So it was just confused because I had Wi-Fi on. So yeah, that was entirely pilot error. That was my fault. It says it's still starting the autonomy engine here. Should be ready to fly here in a second. Takeoff, so we're going to hold the takeoff. I'm going to get out of the way so you guys can see it. So you know, what was interesting about that was that I was able to still control it with the controller even though the drone was connected via Wi-Fi to the phone. But anyway, we got that fixed. That was my fault. So we're going to yaw around again. And we are going to look straight at that tree. I'm going to pick the camera up here just a little, gain a little altitude, and we're going to fly straight at the tree. Full stick forward now. And it's deciding what to do. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to figure it out. We're going to back it off here. Now, I was kind of hoping that it would go around it, but that definitely, it got in between those branches and didn't know what to do. So let's try it again. Full stick forward. And it sees it, and it's going, okay, what do I do now? No. I'm holding the stick forward. I was kind of hoping it would go over the top, but no, it's blowing those branches around. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. Let's gain some altitude here, and I'm going to do what I promised you before. And we're going to go out and look around here a little bit. Sorry, guys, for that problem earlier. Okay, so I'm kind of going to go where I've been before with the, let's get it up in altitude a little bit. I think I've always been about 125 feet or so. So we're pretty close there. Move forward a little more, and then we'll yaw around towards Discovery School, and we're going to try that flight again. Lots of teachers at the school today. Look at that. There's a nice yaw. And full stick forward. $10 miles an hour roughly. Yeah, about 9.5. And when we turn around to come back, we'll hit that turbo button so that you guys can see that. Yeah, a lot better connection there. But you know, it was kind of amazing how far I got just on Wi-Fi with the phone, because it was hooked to the phone. That was actually kind of a cool test. I don't know. Yeah, about 10 miles an hour. We'll go out over the top here. And I am seeing just a little bit of a stutter on the FPV, very slight. And we're about 1,000 feet away. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to lower the gimbal just a little. Kind of get to that rule of thirds. And then let's yaw around, and we're going to come back, and we're going to hit the turbo button. So I'm kind of facing away from the drone here. So let me face towards the drone. Yeah, and you guys are seeing the break up there and on the screen. But 1,000 feet, and that's the big complaint about this. And Skydio has promised they're going to do something about that. So, in any case, let's go full stick forward. And I am, like I said, I'm getting some break up. I am going to hit the turbo button, and it's still not doing anything. Maybe it's the other one. There we go. I was hitting the wrong button. There we go, guys. Yeah, I can hear the drone too. It's moving about 30 miles an hour. I think we hit 33 miles an hour there at one point. And look at that. It's even spotting the cars down there that the contractors are working on building a new part of the school over there. And it recognizes a car that far away. That's kind of cool. We are down to about 35% battery. So let's bring it back to us and drop it down, and let's fly it around here a little. Fly it around through some obstacles, although it looks like, it appeared to me that it's going to struggle with the trees, that it's going to get caught in them. And I wasted a ton of battery, man. Sorry about that, guys. I wasted a lot of battery messing around there. Okay, we're yawing it down, coming down here. I think it wanted to land there. So let's fly it straight towards my car there. And it's looking. I got some guys coming in on a motorcycle, so I'm going to be careful. Okay, so it looks like we got a couple obstacles here, a sign and a tree. Let's center that tree and let's hit full stick forward. Okay, let's I'm gonna shoot it towards my car again and full stick forward. Yeah, you know, I'm starting to see some of the lag that people talked about in this guy, in the controller on this thing. So let's do, we got 19% battery. Time for one more trick. Full stick forward. One more time. Full stick forward. And it just avoids it. Okay, let's do a landing here. Yeah, there is a little lag in this controller. Make sure we got this on film. Okay, so I'm going to hit land now, and we'll do a hand catch. So there you go, Skydio 2, we did another quick flight there. Pretty easy to hand catch this guy. So I'm going to do like before we lose battery power, I'm going to do, says I have to will only display when you're directly connected to the Skydio without a controller. So I need to do that, and I need to connect. So in order to download that stuff, you got to be on Wi-Fi. Good to know. So we're learning something here. Okay, so now we're going to go into media, and we are going to download both of those files. Hopefully I've got enough battery left in the Skydio to do this. So what that does is that also gives you the audio file and syncs it perfectly with the video file. Hey, okay guys, we had a fun flight with the Skydio 2 with the remote controller, the controller that they use for the Parrot Anafi as well. Now, I made a mistake at the start there because I'd been flying it with just my phone. The drone was connecting via Wi-Fi to my phone. What was weird is I could still use the controller to control the drone, but anyway, I had some range issues there. Well, heck, it was just trying to, Actually, it went out there quite a ways based on the fact that it was just hooked to the Wi-Fi on my phone. So that was actually kind of impressive. But anyway, we brought it back, landed it, shut everything down, got it connected to the controller, shut off Wi-Fi on my phone, which I better remember to turn that back on. Shut off Wi-Fi on my phone, connected it, and it flew just fine. We went out there about 1,000 feet, and you saw that the FPV started getting a little mottled. Now, there's some not direct line of sight where I'm standing here. There's a school building in front of me where I was shooting to, and trees here and stuff. So no doubt that played into it. But you know, that is still disappointing, because obviously the reason that you have a controller is you want to be able to get out there a ways. And you know, it's going to be a little tougher with this guy unless you're in an open area. When I was out at the Snake River Canyon, I took it out about 1 kilometer, and it did all right. But that aside, the drone operates perfectly. Every time I lost connection, it went right into return to home. So it would have there were no disasters that were going to happen there. So it was all good. We got that straightened out. So then I tried flying it into this big cottonwood tree behind me here. And I was hoping that the drone would look for a path around it, but it must be something to do with those branches. It literally got stuck in those branches. I was holding the stick forward, and it wouldn't go through, and I had to back it off. Now, we took it out over Discovery School across the street, and the reason I did that is I wanted you guys to see how awesome the camera is on this thing. It is, boy, it's every bit as good as the camera on my Mavic 2 Zoom, maybe even better. In fact, it's right there. So it won't zoom, but it's right there. So we turned around and flew it back. I was pushing the wrong button on the controller. This is the turbo button on the left side here. I was pushing this button on the right side. Once I figured it out, that was pilot error. We got it to go. I think I saw it at about 33, 34 miles an hour there. So, you know, this drone will haul the mail pretty good when you need it to. And then we just flew it around here and flew it towards my car a couple times and did some things just to get a feel for the obstacle avoidance and how it works. So it is a neat tool. However, you do need to understand there's limitations, because like I said, if you were trying to go get it to follow you through a forest or something, you saw how it got confused in the tree there. Now, if it was in follow me function, would it have done that a little bit different? Obviously, I was using the controller, so maybe in follow me, it would have approached that problem a little bit differently. But still, doing things in close quarters with this drone that I would never consider doing with any other drone. Maybe my Mavic 2, because it's got 360 obstacle avoidance with APAS, and it could probably do most of the things that we saw. In fact, I'm quite sure it could do all the things that we did with this today. It just wouldn't be as fast as about. This has got a really smart autonomous engine, and it uses a completely different philosophy in the way it works, where it needs light for all these cameras and it uses those cameras for obstacle avoidance. The Mavic 2 does as well, but it also has some sonic sensors and GPS, relies on some other things, and you do have to have APAS enabled on the Mavic 2 in order to get it to go around something. But this thing's got a heck of a brain in it. Anyway, a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this drone. So what I'll do one of these days is I'll bring it out here, and I'll bring my electric bike, and we'll ride around and see if it can follow us around. And then the other thing that is, there was an update for this drone that came out, but for some reason mine is not updating. Don't know why. People have talked about the update number, and it's 6 point something, and mine is still on 5 point something firmware wise. Don't know why, but in any case, we'll see what happens with that. It still flew great. So anyway, hey, So I'm always going to give everybody a word. We're right in the middle of this COVID-19 crisis. Please, everybody, everybody's getting a little uptight in the middle of this thing because you're stuck at home. There's a lot of people that are out of work. They don't know if they're going to be able to pay their rent or their house payment, or much less buy food, or have a medical problem, right? And then how are you going to pay for that? So people are stressed. So what we all have to do is be nice to each other during this time, and we'll all get through it. So I hope that works. Anyway, this is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I so appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and we'll absolutely see you on the next one. Skydio 2, man, this is an awesome piece of equipment with an awesome camera. See ya.